agenda today. It is continuing our work and discussion on our American Rescue Plan Act funding opportunities. Ms. Howard? Hayward?
Hayward, close enough. Members of the committee, I'm actually here standing in for Mr. Raleigh, who had a competing meeting. So thanks for allowing me to join you today. So just in way of quick background, because we're going to jump immediately into a staff presentation. As all of you have participated in other committee discussions, the City Council early this year in April received some high-level staff recommendations in terms of how to allocate the city's funding through the American Rescue Plan Act. And so there were a number of items that were referred specifically to the Economic Development and Innovation Committee. So with us, we have Kathy Ector. Kathy is our Raleigh Youth Services Manager, and she also manages the city's Pathway Center, which you all know houses a number of our youth and economic development and other community programs. So Ms. Ector is going to walk us through some of the recommended allocations that we have for our ARPA funds to advance some of our youth development and economic development goals.
Thank you so much, Tansy. And good afternoon, council members and Mayor Baldwin. As Tansy was saying, I am Kathy Ector Cox. I'm the Youth Services Director and the Raleigh Pathway Center Manager. I'm also the lead for the Raleigh National League of Cities Basic Needs Initiative team. I'm here today to request ARPA funding to address barriers to success for Raleigh's post-secondary students. I will also present Partnership Raleigh Internships ARPA funding requests as well. In October 2021, the City of Raleigh was selected to be part of the National League of Cities Peer Learning Cohort. These cohorts work to remove barriers to basic needs that prevent college students from successfully completing their post-secondary degrees, certificates, and other certifications needed to gain access to rewarding careers. Our 20-member NLC team consists of students and staff from the 6 Raleigh colleges and universities, City of Raleigh staff, Wake County government staff, Passage Home, Wake County Coalition to Prevent Homelessness, and other community advocates. We've been meeting monthly to advance the city's efforts in supporting our local college students. Our team's mission is to strengthen partnerships within our local post-secondary institutions, identify the barriers to students' basic needs, and provide much-needed resources related to housing, food security, digital inclusion, and mental health. There are significant challenges that face our students earning their degrees and certifications. Like many other students, Raleigh is facing a rapid depletion of affordable housing near our college campuses. Most of our students cannot afford student housing or sufficient college meal plans. Higher tuition, rental rates, food insecurity, and access to transportation are all significant barriers to our students' experience. On a national perspective, U.S. News and World Reports conducted a fall 2020 survey, which found that 14% of post-secondary students experience homelessness, while 34% of them experience food insecurity while enrolled at school. To bring it to a local level, a North Carolina State University study conducted at the same time in 2020 revealed similar numbers right here in Raleigh. 15% of Raleigh's undergraduate students experienced homelessness, and 23% of them were food insecure. Although these studies were done at the height of the pandemic, our local colleges are telling us that these numbers are continuing to trend higher for our undergraduate students. To help address these urgent needs, the Raleigh NLC team is actively working on 3 initial projects. 1, supporting the Raleigh's Host Home program. 2, convening the Student Supporting Students Advisory Team. And 3, developing and producing a Student Basic Needs Resource Guide. All of these projects will be shared resources across all 6 of our Raleigh College campuses. The Host Home program, or Housing Options for Students Today, is a program that allows students to live with a host family so they can focus on their studies while seeking stable housing. HOST matches students with local community members who are willing to provide short-term homes to students while they work with the host staff to ensure that they have a plan for long-term, safe, and affordable housing. Time spent in a home can vary from a few nights to a few months, giving students the time they need to come up with a game plan for long-term housing. The program has a diverse collection of hosts and employees, so students are adequately matched with hosts that will be the best fit for them culturally, physically, and emotionally. The host must undergo screenings, background checks, and training to ensure that the home is safe, affirmative, and stable for the students. The host nonprofit works with Passage Home, Wake County Government, Shaw University, and North Carolina State University to administer the program. Host Home officially launched in May 22 with a goal of serving a minimum of 30 students within our first year. We are currently recruiting hosts, and more information can be found at hostnc.gov. ARPA funding support for this program will help address Raleigh's affordable housing crisis for some of our most vulnerable residents. Our Student Supporting Students Advisory Team. We realize that our students are the best resource for sharing information with other students and the best at advising us on critical issues that impact them most. Our Student Supporting Student team members will serve as student success advocates and will be comprised of 12 student members, 2 from each of the 6 cooperating Raleigh colleges. They will be liaisons between students on their respective campuses and Raleigh Council members and Wake County commissioners. The NLC team is already working with the cooperating Raleigh colleges to identify students who, with lived experience with basic needs and security, to serve on the advisory team. Funding support for this project includes a stipend that will pay these students for their work. The Student Basic Needs Resource Guide. Our NLC team is currently working with Wake County Government on an online student resource guide, which will be the primary method for sharing up-to-date information about food, housing, technology, mental health, and child care resources, specifically for post-secondary students in our community. Our plan is to have printed copies available that will be distributed at our local universities, for example, in the college's Student Affairs Office, financial aid offices, advising offices, as well as at the Pathway Center, Raleigh Community Centers, and Wake County Libraries. The NLC team respectfully requests ARPA funding support for Raleigh's post-secondary students at risk for experiencing basic needs insecurity. Our request includes a 3-year funding amount in the amount of $289,631 for the projects I presented, $173,531,000 for the Host Home program, $114,000 for the Student Supporting Students, and $2,100 for the Student Basic Needs Resource Guide. As we all know, and the data reveals, there are major obstacles for addressing basic needs for Raleigh's post-secondary students, including the rising cost of living, as well as tuition, and the depleting supply of affordable housing in areas close to our college campuses and universities. Students from low-income families and under-resourced communities, first-generation students, and students of color are especially vulnerable to these systemic barriers to basic needs. We believe that every local post-secondary student is a vital part of the Raleigh community. Every college student deserves an opportunity to thrive, and every graduate is an asset to our city. Thank you so much for considering our ARPA proposal and this request, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the table? Couple. Go ahead, Councilmember Branch.
First of all, thank you for the presentation, something I definitely feel is needed and I support. My question is, from the city, who are you the point person for this program? And, just like, how does that work? How integrated are we in making this be successful?
Thanks for that question, Councilmember Branch. Our NLC designation, we received it in October 2021, after our application was received. We started immediately meeting as a group. We've been meeting monthly. We have representation, as I said, from city staff, including our staff from Housing and Neighborhoods, our communications liaison. We have Wake County government staff, representation from all of our 6 colleges. We have community advocates as well, Passage Home, the Oak City Homeless, and Wake County Partnership to End Homelessness. And we're also currently recruiting other members to be a part of this as well. But I am the team lead for this project.
And if organizations want to participate, is it just contact you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we know that these projects is a lot of hands-on, then we are definitely working to make sure that we have everybody at the table.
Mayor.
Could you just go over the colleges who are participating in this?
Yes, North Carolina State University is leading, and Shaw University is leading the Host Home program right now. We have representation on the NLC team from all of the 6 Raleigh colleges: Peace College, Shaw University, St. Augustine's University, Meredith College, Wake Tech, and I'm missing one. NC State, yes, thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody was included.
Yes, we were very intentional about making sure that we included representation from all 6 of the Raleigh colleges.
Any other questions? What does staff need from us? Just a motion to recommend this to the full council?
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to add that I think this is great. I've been hearing a lot about the rise in homelessness and unhoused students in our colleges and universities, and so I'm really glad that we're allocating some of this funding there. I also am on the website, and I see that there is a way for individuals to make donations to support the program, as well as an opportunity to help spread the word. I'm wondering if we could also make sure that that information is either promoted on our social media or on our website somewhere, because I think that could be helpful.
We did put I'm sorry, Nancy.
No, go ahead.
We did work with our communications liaison to put information on the Loop a few weeks ago about the Host Home program. And we actually had some employees that contacted us and that were interested in being hosts. As I mentioned earlier, information can be found at Host NC. We are actively recruiting more community members to be hosts.
Awesome.
I have one more question. 2 questions. One, are you all able to go out in the community and share this information?
Absolutely. If you know of any group that you want us to come to talk about Host Home and help recruit more host families, we'd love to do that.
2, are we vetting our hosts?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. They have to go through intense training. We do a background check and training with the whole point. It's called Point Source organization that is training for our intergenerational housing. So they have to go through that entire curriculum before they can become a host.
Okay.
All right. Want me to make a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I just want to say this, I'm on the Board of Trustees for William Peace and also on the Wake Tech Foundation Board. And we have had some major issues with food insecurity and homelessness. So I'm glad to see that we are moving forward and working on this. It's really important. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your support, Mayor Baldwin.
Do we have another item?
So I don't see Lou. I thought there was another for Partnership Raleigh, but
Yes, right here.
okay. Okay, it's still Kathy.
Still me.
Go ahead.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate the approval for the NLC and our projects. I'll now share information about Partnership Raleigh and our ARPA request for funding as well. Our funding request aligns with EDI 1.3 as we continue to partner with organizations in our community to enhance youth skills development opportunities with a focus on increasing programs and services at the city's Pathway Center. The Raleigh Pathway Center is an access point to career information, training, job and career opportunities, and supportive services for youth and young adults. The center works with many community organizations to deliver a variety of youth workforce development programs, like the Raleigh Summer Youth Employment Program, Digital Connectors, Digital Ambassadors, and Partnership Raleigh Intern Program. Partnership Raleigh is a workforce development initiative and public-private partnership between the City of Raleigh, local businesses, and the nonprofit community. We provide paid internships to young adults between the age of 17 to 22 and who live and or go to school in Raleigh. Our interns may attend either a 2-year, 4-year vocational, technical, or certificate education program. Partnership Raleigh has been funded by Bank of America since 2017. Our program goals includes helping underserved college students, primarily juniors and seniors, find high-quality employment opportunities while helping our departments reduce vacancy rates. We have developed an intern recruiting plan with 2 of our local HBCUs and Wake Tech to identify students to participate in Partnership Raleigh. With ARPA funding support, we can expand Partnership Raleigh and hire 30 interns to work in 24-week cohorts. The interns will be provided meaningful work experiences while also receiving professional supervision, mentorship, networking, and job coaching. A key part of our program is professional development and financial literacy training. And of course, the ultimate goal is that the intern is offered a permanent job from the department. Partnership Raleigh has hired nearly 150 interns since 2017. Our evaluation data reveals that 100% of our interns agree that the program provides a well-paying job experience, practical professional and development training, and resources that they utilize in their future job position. Partnership Raleigh has been recognized for its innovation and effectiveness. Bank of America named Partnership Raleigh as one of its best youth workforce development programs. The program won the 2021 Talent Development Award and was recently named a finalist for the 2022 Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award by Triangle Clean Tech. We also just won the 2022 North Carolina Recreation and Parks Association Innovative Program Award. We respectfully ask the committee to approve ARPA funding for Partnership Raleigh in the amount of $364,591. This funding covers the intern's salary, a contract program coordinator to assist with the expanded program, professional development certifications for the interns, as well as program curriculum, materials, and supplies. I've been managing Partnership Raleigh since the program launched 6 years ago. Our community partners and grant funders work together to help local students with these paid internships, giving them valuable workforce development experience and exposing them to job opportunities in the City of Raleigh municipal government. Our city departments have benefited as well as they have filled their employment gaps with our Partnership Raleigh interns. Thank you for helping us expand this award-winning program. We appreciate your ongoing support for our youth and all of our workforce development programs at the Raleigh Pathway Center. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Could you just go back to the line items on what each funding source would be used for?
Yes.
Could you just tell me a little bit more about the professional development consultant?
Yes, we've been using a professional development consultant for our program to help us design our curriculum, and that consultant also helps us with our recruiting. They help us be a liaison between our city departments, our businesses that we're contacting after the students leave our program if they decide not to work for the city or if there's not an open position in the city. So there's a variety of things that that consultant does for us.
Okay, and then the professional development curriculum certification materials. I'm just trying to get more detail on what that all encompasses, so I better understand.
Okay. In order to attract more of our students and give them more credentials after they leave our program or as they are in our program, we've been working with the Bring Your A Game to Work and Working Smart for certification. So in addition to these students earning money, they get a workforce development, a nationally recognized workforce development credential.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Branch.
I just want to say thank you. I think Tanzia know I've been pushing interns since I've been on council, because I think that's the way we grow our, our bench. And also it helps with exposure of what the city actually does in the community, because these students can be the great ambassadors, while they're coming through an internship program, as well as, future employees, and you never know, future directors, and in about 30 years, assistant city managers, deputy city managers, and so forth. So I definitely full-heartedly support this program at appropriate time. I would move for approval.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much
Thank
for these
you. We
presentations.
really
Do we have-
appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you all.
Do we have anything else?
That is it for your agenda this afternoon.
And does that close out, maybe Mr. Raleigh will know this, I can ask him, does that close out our ARPA funding opportunities item?
Yes, I believe so. And looking at your agenda, I don't identify that there are any pending items listed. Now, the clerk's office keeps that list.
Okay, so this will be fully reported out the next meeting. Okay, thanks so much, everyone. Meeting adjourned.